see Peter's power test his use of power tested in a completely different way.
Steve Norton from Screenfish, and I'm so excited to be chatting with Brad Winderbaum, the executive producer of the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Thank you, Brad. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, no problem, Steve. My pleasure.
Honestly, and I'm not just saying the show is spectacular. It just across the board, it is phenomenal. And the style is so unique. What was the inspiration for it?
So, I really believe that every creator should have the ability to create a style for the show that best tells their story. And that's why you'll see like a lot of variety in Marvel animation, but also I think in the live action shows as well. There are different styles and tones at play. Um, and it's like the comics where you can feel, the different artists, characters passing through different artist hands over the years, and based on the creator and the story that they're telling. So, so this is really born out of the world that Jeff was creating. He when we're launching, we decided to launch a Spider-Man cartoon. He had a vision for it that brought Peter back to high school, that gave him the same challenges he had at the beginning of the comic books. And if you go all the way back to the beginning of the comic books, you look at that Steve Ditko art with the big glasses and the bright yellow shirt and you could feel kind of the introverted, socially awkward Peter Parker very strongly on the page, and that was what we were going for on screen.
It really is something special. It's incredible. And I love almost as important to the series as Peter is Lonnie's journey as well, which is much more grounded. You know, you have the superhero, you have more grounded. Why was that so important to bring into the show?
Well, one story arc that really sticks with me was the way that the original Bruce Timm Batman the Animated Series told the Harvey Dent story.
Mm.
And if you were, I was a comic book fan at the time, and I knew Two-Face was as a Batman villain, but they slow played it. They established Harvey Dent in multiple episodes as Bruce's friend, as the district attorney, so that when they finally got to the Two-Face origin episode, you had invested in the character, and it lent itself to what was like at that time like one of the most tragic things I'd ever seen on screen, because I'm just a kid watching Saturday morning cartoons. So there's a little that's a big part of the inspiration of Lonnie and the slow hand of his evolution into where he will ultimately go if you're a fan of the comics.
Absolutely. But like you said, it's a slow burn and we care about him. Like we genuinely care about him and his family. But I wanted to ask you, there's an interesting line where, there's a conversation he's having with Dawn, and he says, nobody likes a tough guy. And I would love to know, in your mind, what makes Peter a different type of tough guy? Because Spider-Man, of course, is the hero of the show.
Spider-Man is his mantra as given to him traditionally by Uncle Ben is with great power comes great responsibility. And he doesn't quite know how to use his power when he first gets it. And he has to learn to, the cost through Uncle Ben's death of not you being able to wield that power properly. In this version, his mentor is Norman Osborn, who has a completely different philosophy, and we see Peter's power test his use of power tested in a completely different way, where he has to judge what he is capable of doing with what he should be doing with it.
Well, it's honestly, I love the take. I love how there's moments of the MCU that are flipped on their ear, and I have to say the theme is an absolute banger this time.
Yeah,
Just phenomenal.
give you a chance.
Uh,
Shot. Thank you.
well, thank you so much for the time, Brad. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.